Of the three candidates running for mayor of San Diego in the 2020 election, none of them represent the Republican Party, but there is speculation and rumor that termed out District 7 City Councilmember Scott Sherman is considering a run for mayor. So here to talk more about this is KUSI contributor and AM 760 radio host Mark Larson. Mark, thanks for joining us.
You know, you're welcome, and it's not just a rumor. I talked to Scott on my show late last week on radio, and he said he's considering it. He's looking over it. This is a guy who, if you want to talk about the call to service, this is a guy who, when I ask him each time he's on, how many more days in the council, and it's like he's in a prison cell. He knows there's X number, 100 days, like hours, because it's such a different thing compared to what he signed up for. Their council's gone 6-3 on the left, beholden to unions. Many of them are elected because the unions gave them that power. Scott is a business guy, a real world guy, and he'd make it interesting in the mayor's race. The problem is that in California and in San Diego, the common understanding seems to be if you're a Republican, you can't win. I don't necessarily buy that, but the registration is heavier Democrat. A lot of independents, and a lot of those independents are Republicans who don't like the stigma of being Republicans. So Scott Sherman, when I asked him, are you thinking about running? Yes, I'm thinking about it. He would be a great voice, and I think his opportunity will be, if he decides to do that, he has till December 1st, so do other candidates if they want to hop in. But he has the opportunity to really talk about issues that transcend party. So that'll be the difference.
So you had him on your show a lot. You know him pretty well. Yeah. So how would you describe his vision for the city? It's
pretty clear. If you look at what he wants, he says, listen, let's talk about housing, affordable housing, number one. Let's do that in a way that doesn't include taxpayer subsidies, but is more focused on middle income people. That's a big difference. At the same time, strip away some of the regulations, some of the huge expenses that come into just building something new. There's city, county, and state regulations that are just stifling. Then there's the homeless issue. Again, this is the kind of thing you could talk to someone, doesn't matter if they're Republican, Democrat, Whig, Independent, whatever. That they will tell you that it's an issue, it's a problem with that percentage that aren't in the great programs, but are problems in the city. So what to do with that? There's also the infrastructure issue. This is the potholes and everything else. When it boils down to the basics, people don't care, Republican or Democrat, some of the extremes on climate change and whatever, you can have that debate, but they want to know, I don't want to fall into a pothole. I want to make sure I don't have a water main bursting. So these are everyday problems. And then there's the union issue, the union domination. This is where he'll have a tough time, because if he's in there on the race, if he decides to run, the unions do not like him. I would even say some of them hate him. They sit in the front row like this. Wow. I could name names. They sit in the front row at City Hall, and they do thumbs up to their friends and pretty much thumbs down. It's like Caesar to people like Scott Sherman. So does that play in today's San Diego? Not if you look at the party registration, but if you talk about issues, I think you can get some traction. Do we want to be San Francisco and LA or uniquely San Diego?
So he's got to get through the primary.
You bet. Well, the way the primaries are, thanks to under Arnold Schwarzenegger, the top two vote getters, many of us said at the time it's going to be Democrat versus Democrat. Right now you have Todd Gloria, who has the blessing of the Democrat Party. Barbara Bree is in there. She's not real happy about that. Todd was a great interim mayor after Filner. He was very good. He's a different Todd Gloria now. I don't know if this is the...
More left?
This is... Absolutely. And that's part of the problem in City Hall. They're always running for something else. That's the nature of politics. What's refreshing about Scott Sherman is he's a guy who goes, hey, if this doesn't work out, I'll go back to the real world business. He stayed in touch with that. That keeps him connected. And I think, frankly, if people of both parties look at it, they might find him in a refreshing voice.
Refreshing. Yeah, that might be nice for people.
And he's sometimes cranky, and that's okay. You can't be sunshine all the time.
He's at City Hall.
Fill the pothole.
Right.
That's right.
All right, Logan, thank you. Thank you.